Hi, I'm Clara. I'm one of the co-founders of Homebase Ireland, and today I'm going to be talking you through your glider robot, how to set it up, what comes in the box, and how to use the settings on the app. So glider comes assembled already with everything on it, but I will run you through that in a minute. We'll go to the Homebase first, where you can see you will have a dirty water tank, have a clean water tank, and you just want to make sure that this filter is installed in the bottom. So this is what sucks up your water. So that pops into the bottom corner there, and you would fill this up with water. You can use cleaning solution, but do pay attention to the recommended dosage on the bottle. If you go too heavy on your cleaning solution, you can swell the pipes. You can end up with water leaks inside in the machine. You can block them and clog them as well. So be careful that you are using the recommended concentration levels. And the other thing in your Homebase is your dust bag. So your dust bag just slides in and out, just pops in like this and pops back in like that. So that's your Homebase. The other thing that you'll need to install when it comes is your little tray here and the tray inside. So the tray sits in here and this sits down on that. After that, it's a case of plugging in your lead and finding a power point for it to plug into. So your glider comes fully assembled. So one key thing, whenever you're turning it over, always remember to take out the little tank at the back. This is a water tank. It will have water that it has sucked up from the Homebase, and it has a lid at the top. If this lid was ever left loose and you turn your robot upside down, the water can seep out of the water tank and into the electronics. So always remember to take this out before you turn your machine upside down. So your machine comes assembled for you. It comes with the mops attached. Your mop pads just click on and off like that. And the mop itself is just Velcro. It just literally peels off. You can throw these in the washing machine. This will wash the mops for you, but I would still recommend throwing these in the washing machine maybe once a month or so, depending on the traffic that you have coming in and out of the house. You'll see yourself, your floor will start to look just a little bit tacky, and you'll see a few swirl marks, and that means it's time for them to go into the machine. You would just whip that off and throw that in. Your side brush will come attached as well. Your side brush has one little tiny screw in it. So when you need to change it, you need a screwdriver just to open the screw, and this pops off and you would put your fresh one on. You can brush these bristles out. The cleaner you keep them, the better job they're going to do at getting all the crumbs to come in from the edge of the walls into where the vacuum is here. Your front brush, you just make sure that it keeps clean and free of debris and free of hair wrapped around it. So you may need to use a little knife to get any of the hair out of that. Your roller is in here, so it's just two clips, pulls off like that. Your roller just pops out, and it comes with a cleaning brush with a blade on it where you can just slice straight down to clean the hair out of the roller. And again, we would just use a baby wipe or something like that in here just to clean out any dirt that would be there. Same with your wheels, you just make sure that they're turning freely and that there isn't any hair caught up in them. Then in terms of your filter is in here. So in here, lift out the dust box. So this is where you get your dust box out. If it has sucked up something important that you don't want it to go into the vacuum bag, you can stop it before it gets home and you can take your dust box out here. You would just open it here and all the debris will be in there. So this is your filter. There's a few parts to it. You would take this piece off. You have the sponge piece and you have your filter here. So your filter just pops in with the sponge over it. You can blow these out with an airline or a hairdryer or something like that. You can bang them off a wall to clean them. You can wash them. However, when people have washed them too vigorously, they've put holes in them and then you're allowing dirt to circulate around your machine. So if you are going to wash them, be very gentle with how you do it and make sure they're bone dry before you put them back into your machine. Once you have all the bits attached to your robot, it's time to get it set up and working in your house. So the very first thing you would do is find somewhere for your Homebase. You want your Homebase to be near an outlet plug. You want it away from any full length mirrors or full length windows as the reflection can affect your map. And you want to give it space so that it can get in around. So you'll see it'll come with a diagram on the quick guide as to how much space you need to leave around your robot. So once you find a home for it, you would stick it in to the Homebase and allow it to charge. While it's charging, you can get it set up on the app. You have two choices. You can use this on an app or you can use it manually with the buttons. So we'll talk about what the buttons do and then we can talk about how to set it up on the app. So there's 4 buttons on the Homebase up here. This one, the picture of the house, that will send the robot home. So if it's down under a bed or it's down the hall or wherever, if you press the home button, it'll summons the robot to come back to base and to charge itself again. Next over, we have the drying button. So if you want your mops to dry, it'll automatically do that when it's finished cleaning anyway. But if for some reason you want to initiate it, you can press the drying button here. Then we have the play button. This is the one that you would use if you're going to use your robot manually. So if you're not using the app and you just wanted to clean the room, you just press this play button here. When you press the play button, what it means to the robot is clean anywhere where you've left the doors open for. So it'll go around one full room first and then it'll enter into the next room and do that room and so on and so forth until it's done all the open spaces. So this is a handy way of doing it if you don't have Wi-Fi in your house, if you don't want to use an app, you can just press the play button, open whatever doors you want and it'll have cleaned it by the time you get home. Then the other button over here is for the base station self-cleaning. So in under here is where the mops get washed all the time. So this tray can get quite dirty, especially if you are high traffic or a farming house or something like that, or kids with muck coming in and out. Obviously the mops being washed here, this tray will collect the heavy dirt while the water will go into its dirty tank up here. So from time to time, this tray will need to be cleaned. You can pop it out, you can wash it in the sink. And underneath the bottom here, you can hit the self-cleaning button and it will create a water fountain inside where you can use the cleaning brush just to give it a quick scrub to help it to fully clean internally there and avoid any smells. The buttons on the robot itself, you have a power button and you have a home button. So again, your home button will always send it home. Your power button obviously turns the robot itself on and off, but it also creates as a start-stop button. So if you are using this without an app and you want to do it manually, you could just pick this robot up, put it down into your bedroom or put it upstairs and press the power button. And again, it will initiate an automatic clean where it will vacuum and mop anywhere that it can reach. Anywhere the doors are open, it will do, and it will just beep at you when it's finished and it's ready to go back to its home base. So once you have your glider robot and you have it all set up and ready to go, the next thing to do is to pair it to the app if you're going to use it with the app. So you'll get your quick guide with it. There's a QR code on it and you just follow the steps here to download the app. Once the app is downloaded, it looks a little bit like this. So we're going to pull out our robot out of the Homebase and we want to put it into a connection mode. So there's 2 buttons here. We're going to hold the buttons until you hear it talk.
Network connection mode.
So once the lights are flashing here, we then are going to look for it on our app. So we press the plus button up here, add device. Normally it'll automatically come up here for you, but if it doesn't, you can go add manually. So we're just scrolling down. We're looking for small home appliances is here. And we scroll down until we find the robot options here. So you can pick robot vacuum with Wi-Fi. So here it will ask you for your Wi-Fi details and your Wi-Fi password. We're hitting next. Once you've typed it in, you confirm and proceed. So it's asking to make sure that the lights are flashing. So we say yes, continue, the lights are flashing. Now it wants to know if it's a slow flash or a fast one. So this is slow, it's matching AP. So we're going to click AP. And we'll wait a minute. And it'll ask, are we sure we want to join the network? So we say yes. And it will connect itself now. Just keep your phone near the robot until the connection is finished. Okay, so once it's connected, you'll have it here. So you're hitting done. And this is your home page now. Next, it's asking to make sure that it's in the charging station. So we'll push it back in. Okay, we hit next. And now it's going to ask us if we want to start drawing our map. Okay, if this is the first time you've used it, you would hit start drawing map and it's going to come out and it's going to draw the map for you. Because we've already done this here in our office, I'm going to pause it and we're now going to talk through what else the app can do for you. If you want to edit your map,
In charging.
you need your robot to be in the Homebase like this. So you have map edit here, which is the middle button. You can go in here. You can hit no-go zone. So if there is a particular rug you don't want it to climb on, or an area that you just don't want it to go anywhere near, you can go into your no-go zone and we can draw the maps now. So if I zoom in here, we have a no sweep zone. So that's no sweep and no vacuum. And we have a no mopping zone here. So there are two different boxes. So the blue is a vacuum. So we can drag that and we can place it anywhere over there. And we could have a mop one where we can drag, we can put it on top of it. This can take a little bit of trial and error. If you want to be very specific with the area, you might need to put your boxes down, let your robot come out for a clean and make sure that you have the exact line where you want it to be. So you might need to edit that once or twice to ensure you have the right area. And again, if you don't want them, you're just hitting the X at the top and that's it. Whatever you do, then you make sure that you save it so that it updates for you. Next, we have cleaning modes. So your cleaning preferences are here. Generally, I would always have mine on both work. The glider has a carpet sensor, so it will lift the mops when it gets to carpet. So there's no need to adjust it for that stuff. So I would usually have mine on both work. You have different water levels here. A question that is asked is, can we use high level water when we have hardwood floor? And yes, the answer is yes, you can. It's still not enough water to cause any damage on your hardwood. If you want to be safe, you can of course have it on low mode. And then your fan is all different levels of suction. So again, you can set that to your preference. We have a customized mode down here, which is currently on. That's when you set each room to its own preference. For right now, we're going to turn it off and we're going to just confirm those changes that we made. So we click back in and you can see the changes we made there, and we'll confirm that again. Now you can start to customize your map a little bit more if you like as well. Okay, so we'll just go through some other settings that you can do and then we'll go back to itemized room cleaning. So in here, we have your timer, where you can set up, we have no schedule currently, but you could set up that you want it to clean every day at whatever time, or you can set the different days. You can set up what kind of suction you want for your timer mode, and again, your cleaning preferences for the timer, your water levels, and how many times it sweeps. So that how many times it sweeps is how many times your little brush will spin around before it suctions up the dust or the dirt. You can select a particular area that you want on a timer, or you can just select the whole house. So that's personal preference, what way you'd like to do that. If we click out of here, and again, make sure you click save at the end of each change. So the next one down, we've map management. So map management will be where your robot works on different levels of your house or in different areas. So each time it makes a new map, it will store it here. It'll use the one that you currently have here unless you change it. So if you want to change, you click use and swap to whatever map that you've chosen to use instead. Every time your robot works, it will constantly update the map. So you'll always have a selection of maps here to choose from. Next down, we have our dust collection. So this is the sweeping I mentioned with the brush. So collect dust after one sweep, after two sweeps, after 3 or 4 times. The more times you choose to sweep, the slower the robot will go over the floor. Next down, we have your carpet cleaning preference. So it will come on adaptive. So adaptive is where it will automatically change itself to suit the flooring that is presented to it. You can choose to avoid, so this would be avoid all carpeted areas. This is handy in houses that have rugs with a very, very thick pile or tassels off the edge of the rug. It will recognize that and then it will just avoid that area altogether. And then ignore is only if you ever wanted to mop your rugs or your carpet. So it will ignore the ultrasonic sensor and it will just mop the carpeted area for you as well. So that's personal preference there. Down to mop self-cleaning here. This is one that I would use often in particularly wet or muddy days. I would have this turned right down to the self-cleaning frequency, right down to 5 meters squared. It does use a lot more water, but it's washing its mops every 5 square meters. So you really do get a really deep clean of the floor. In summer, when there isn't that much kind of muck being dragged in, you can increase that up to 30 square meters, or again, you'll find what works best in your own house. And again, whatever you save is what it'll work at until you next change it. Cleaning history, if you just want to check where in the house it cleaned, you can click in and out. You can see on the map whereabouts it did before it came home. Voice and volume, that's just for your robot here. You can choose whatever language you would like and whatever volume that it goes up and down to. The remote control, my children like to use that a lot, and my husband sometimes, to do robot wars, but you can control it manually and drive it up and down. If there was a particularly dirty spot that you just wanted to go back and forth on a few times, that's possible to do it here. Find my robot. If your robot is stuck under a bed with a sock or something, if you hit that, it'll beep.
I am here.
And it'll tell you where it is, and you can continue to hit it until you find it. Consumable management. So these are what we discussed earlier: your filters, your side brushes, your cleaning brush, and your mop life. So it'll give you a good indication as to how often they need to be changed. Do bear in mind your filters need to be cleaned regularly. They might need to be changed regularly, but they definitely need to be cleaned regularly to keep the same level of suction. Breakpoint continuous cleaning, that's on. So if it isn't finished cleaning, when its battery gets low, it'll come home, it'll charge the battery, and then it'll go back out and take over from where it left off. Down here then you've intelligent obstacle avoidance. You can put that on whatever mode that you want. If you are worried about dog feces or cat feces or anything like that, it should be on intelligent obstacle avoidance. Have it on very high sensitive levels. Mop drying time, that's just how the Homebase dries the mop. If you wanted to dry with hot air or cold air. Liquid cleaner for the wash mop, that's an added extra that you can choose to get that upgraded machine. Your hot water wash mop, so that's the 50-degree hot wash. Again, you can turn that on and off. Smart along the wall, that's when your robot will come out and it'll do this along the edge of the wall to get right in around the edge. It does take much longer to go around the edge of a room, but it does get right into the corner of those kickboards, so it can be a useful thing to add on. Now if we talk about how to edit the map and customize each room. So your map edit is here, and if we go map custom editing. So in here, you can do many things. You can change walls around, you can add partitions, you can change the order of the rooms, so the order in which the robot will clean them. You can merge rooms and get rid of walls if you wanted. You can name the rooms as well, so your robot knows exactly which one's which. And you can also customize the cleaning mode in each room. So if we click custom down here, each room will have its own cleaning preference on it. So I can click on the room and it'll bring up the custom cleaning preferences here. So I can pick for that particular room that I would like it on high everything, and I'd like it to do it twice every time it cleans that room. So I'm going to confirm that. And over here for this room, if I click on the cleaning preferences, I would like it to do low everything and only once. So I'll confirm that again, and again hit save. Once I have my custom cleaning schedule done, I go back out and in my cleaning preferences, turn on custom. If you want to override the standard settings, you turn on custom, and it's now going to clean to whatever you've customized it to do. Down here, we have our Smart Clean button. So if we hit Smart Clean is auto clean. So it means it will go out and do whatever the cleaning preferences are that you've saved, and it'll do anywhere where you've left the door open to. You can have selected area cleaning. If there's been a spill, I can hit selected area and I can select the area that I would like to do. I can choose to have room cleaning. So again, I can click that and I can just click the room I would like. Or I can have pin and go, where I click that, confirm, and I can just hit one area wherever the pin is dropped. that I would like it to clean in that area. If that's very handy when you have kids and there's after being a spill and you just want one square done and you don't want to have to do the entire room. Another handy trick that a lot of people do when they're editing their map is they'll split their kitchen into 2 or 3 areas. They'll divide the dining table as one area, they'll have around the kitchen counters as another area, and then they'll have the rest of the room. It's particularly handy for open plan spaces so that when you finish cooking, you can get it just to come and do around the edge of the kitchen counters where there'd be bits of food on the floor rather than having to do the whole room.
Hi, my name is Alan. I'm one of the co-founders of Homebase Ireland, and today I'm going to show you how to maintain glider. So here we have the glider machine itself and the home station. So both do need to be cleaned. So I'm going to start with a glider. First thing you do is remove the water tank, because if you do turn any of these robots upside down, water can leak into the machine if it's not clipped in properly, and it's good practice just to remove the tank. So the mops are a self-cleaning mop. They self-clean inside the tank, but maybe once a month or so, just remove the actual mop pad itself, and you could wash them in the sink, or you can throw them into the washing machine. This one actually has paper in the back of it. Inside here we have the roller brush assembly. So these two clips here will open the roller brush, and you can see the amount of dust and dirt that's accumulated inside here. This is all quite normal. Also, this little wheel here can be removed, and normally there is a lot of dirt would be built up inside the wheel and in the actual axle as well. So you could push out the wheel and take any bit of hair or dust fibers or anything that's around the edge of it. Just give it a clean, but this one is quite clean, so this can go back together. What I normally do is use a baby wipe just to wipe down the actual rolling surface. Wipe all the surface down, because what happens is the dirt actually sticks to the brush, and it actually loses its efficiency. Even just that much is enough to keep it clean. The brush itself sometimes will have a lot of hair, depending on if people in your household or your dogs have long hair. In the box you get this cleaning brush, the self-cleaning brush, but there is an attachment on the back of it that you can remove it, and there is a blade in there for removing the hair out of the brush. It's basically just a cutter that cuts the hair out. Also, these side wheels can be removed. There is hair, we'll just wipe down with a baby wipe. And then on the other side of it is the outside cover of the roller brush. Again, you can see there's a lot of dirt and debris stuck in it. So again, just baby wipe it clear, and it's good to go again. So once that's clean, you assemble the roller brush again. So it just clicks in from the side, pushes down, and then just be assembled back on again. Clicked in. Just have a look and make sure there's no major hairs stuck around this guy. This can be removed, just a little Phillips screw, and he can come off, and you can remove any hair that's inside here. And also make sure that the fingers of the side brush are still intact. These are consumable items and they will break off over time, just the nature of them, and they are disposable items, so you can just keep an eye on them. So just give these a quick wipe off as well, backward and front, and they pop back on again. Same with the other one. If you find that the mop pads sometimes get coming off the pads, there can be dirt or hair stuck behind the mop itself on the pad, so you can just run this under warm water and maybe get like a paintbrush and just brush it off, or even an old toothbrush. You will be able to kind of free any dirt that's in here. That will kind of rejuvenate the surface of the mop pad. Sometimes you could find that the mop would fall off it. So once you get your fresh clean mops again, you just sit back on and Velcro on, and that is the bottom side of the machine clean. So we'd flip it over, we just open the dust lid, and the dust box is in here. So normally this dust box, you never really have to attend to it, because it is always returning home, the machine is always returning home to self clean. But occasionally it is good practice just to remove the dust box and have a look at the filter inside here. So this one has 3 filters. It's got a gauze that will catch a lot of the dust particles. It's got a sponge type of a filter, which again filters the next part of the dust, and then there is a paper element filter. All 3 of these do need to be kept clean. If any of these get blocked, or all 3 of them get blocked, what can happen is the machine can actually pull dirt from alongside them and around them and put it into the actual machine, which means the machine itself inside in the motor will get blocked with dirt. So it is vital that these guys are kept clean. Hot water, and all you do is run it under the tap, just wash all the dirt off the filter till it's nice and clean. Same with this one. And just squeeze them dry. Now you can just leave these dry overnight, and then you can put them back into the machine again in the morning. Ideally with this filter, this one isn't really designed to get wet, but what you can do with this guy is just tap them and you see all the dirt coming off. So when you're finished all of it, pop the tray back in, click in, close down the lid, and then install the water tank into the back of it. And that is the robot itself cleaned, ready to go again. This is the home station of Glider. There's 2 items of this that need to be cleaned. The number 1 is the dirty water tank that has, this is the dirty water that's basically been cleaned off the mops of the Glider machine itself. So this does need to be removed and cleaned out. It is good practice to keep this clean once a week, definitely. Otherwise the water can become stale and it can start to smell. So even if it isn't full, it is a good idea just to wash it out once a week. Water needs to be filled up. So fill it up close to near its max. Also this filter is a little clip down the bottom, so sometimes that clip can come off. Just make sure that before you start filling it that filter is down the bottom and it's clipped into its home. So this can be reinserted back into the Homebase. You'll see then this light on the machine will turn white. So it was indicating red as the dirty water tank was full and the fresh water tank was empty. So now we have cleaned the water tanks and filled the main tank, and now it's gone back to white. Other times you will see this go red is if the tray inside is dirty. So regardless of it being red or not, this would need to be cleaned at least once a week if the machine is out every day. So this tray gets removed. You can see the level of dirt that's on this one. So you can just use the brush that comes with the machine to wash it off. So again, just rinse it off. The machine has a self-cleaning option on the top of the machine. There's a button here that when you press it, it actually actuates 2 jets of water that spray up that's actually heated. And with the brush that's supplied with the machine, you can clean all the dirt that's around it. Once it's finished, it'll actually suck the dirty water into its home tank. What we do is press this button up here, and you can see the jets inside here will start spraying upwards. It's sucking the dirty water out of it for the moment, and you see these jets here will spray upwards. When it's spraying, we can just agitate the dirt. And just make sure all around the jets are clear. You can hear the motor now running, so it's going to suck all that dirty water out of itself. You can keep brushing while this is going on still. So it'll run it a second time, and that water is actually heated as well, which does help agitate the dirt. And then water is just sucked out of it at the end. That's the tank of the machine cleaned. Once that's finished, the robot will also indicate that the machine is finished cleaning, so you can pop back in your mop cleaning tray back into it. This slope can get dirty as well. So again, you can just remove it and just give it a quick rinse off with the brush in the sink. Just keep it nice and clean, which will just return everything back to a clean state again. Just with a baby wipe, just wipe the front surface of the machine just to keep it nice and clean again. You pop your tray back on, and that's the machine cleaned and the home station cleaned. One thing just to note, sometimes if the dirt is too much inside the machine, it can dirty the sensors or the charging ports. You might notice that the glider will be returning in home to charge, hitting its station, but trying to come back out again and go back in, and it will never lock in. So you just get a cloth and these two top sensors, just give them a wipe and wipe the window here. So you're just wiping this whole section. The corresponding charging pins on the back of the machine as well. Just keep these clean. That will make sure that it can find its way home and also charge correctly in the home station.
With your robot, the same as with any technology like a laptop or anything like that, from time to time they need to just be shut down and have a restart. So how you do that is you would first of all make sure your machine is turned off. So you press and hold the power button for about 10 seconds. You'll hear the machine say powering off. Then you open this flap, and in here beside the hinge there's a little button that says reset. So you'll need something like a pen or a pin. You'd hold this button down for 3 seconds and then turn your machine back on. This will generally reboot it. It'll fix 99% of any mapping or technical issues that you may be having. And again, we would recommend that you would reset your machine once every couple of months, or if you've had an electricity cut overnight or something like that, if there's been a storm, a reset generally helps for the robot just to remember the map and find its way around again.